It's fake news.
All fake news.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Hello, everybody. We are back for episode 6, I believe, of Judge It. This is not the map we are judging. This is Go Big Go Hot Wheels Spider's Den, because I was showing it off to somebody, but we are going to be taking a quick look at my map for this week, which is based on the theme 50% clutch and 50% kick, hoping to put that in for Owl shortly. And then we're actually going to take a second look at one of SkarMatrix's maps afterwards. So, now I'm going to edit all of this out as usual, as I forgot to add the level. That's last week's. Alright. Let me know when nobody's on a run.
Go for it.
I'm on a run, but I will
That
probably
turn
mess
is
it up.
interesting.
I hate
The
that
out-
turn.
One that
out-
Agix
The
just
upside down,
broke
too.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kept dying there, so I was just like,
Yeah,
I'll
we
just take a
all
break.
fell off that turn at the same time.
Is it the one around the
You
big
get
spider?
spidered.
Kind of got to
Oh,
brake check
yeah.
it. Yeah.
You got spidered.
Alright.
Yeah,
He
I got
gets spidered.
I was lucky enough to bounce my way back onto the track.
Well, here goes. Mew, I'm afraid you missed the good decoration week, but we can go over that afterwards.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to see that. I got to see the video.
Nice. Okay. Welcome to 50% concentrated power of clutch. I hope somebody gets that
that's-
reference.
50%
It's the song.
concentrated power, will,
Like
5% pleasure,
Eminem?
15% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. Something like that.
Something like that. Pretty sure it's Florida.
Oh, yeah, that might be
No,
true. I
that's
might be thinking
yeah,
of-
Fort Minor.
Pretty-
Yeah.
Fort Minor.
I heard
I
you
was
say
gonna say, pretty sure it's neither.
Ooh, I do like this rollover transition at the beginning.
it's
yeah,
interesting.
I do as well.
Nice.
It's
Fun.
actually relatively difficult.
It was going to
Yeah,
be a lot
it's
later
like-
in the map, and then I tried it 3 times.
I'm very glad
Yeah,
that it's not later in the map.
It's better that it's early.
That was not a great run. Not a horrible one. I think that the time should be relatively close on each side that are theoretically possible.
And why
Theoretically,
does it say good or bad?
because the bad side is supposed to be the quote-unquote kick side, and it is probably about half a second faster, however, without a lot of the niceties, such as no signage, no safety nets, nothing
no.
to make
No signage.
yeah, no signage. The map doesn't need that much signage, but, you know, some of it is kind of nice to have.
Oh, that's a different way to do that. So yeah, at the beginning, if you go to the right or left, either way, and you kind of like jump off, you can really flow yourself over more.
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to do it. I had no idea at first, so
I was messing around with techniques, just slowly going off of it is possible, but it's way harder to do consistently, at least. It's still a pretty difficult first transition,
Yeah,
though.
but it's cool.
very cool. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in a map.
Really?
That's
I-
it's a cool transition.
I
New.
kind of tripped across it on accident while I was working on another jump, and I went, okay, let me see if that's actually possible, and then it was, so it had to be here.
Ooh, this transit. Is that what I was supposed to do there?
I don't
No.
know where you were, so I can't say.
No, I was supposed to keep going around the circle.
Ah,
I was trying to drop down onto the.
I'm guessing you
Back.
took the bad
Well.
side first, yes?
No, I took the good side.
Dang it, that means I screwed up my signage. So, this is the first time I will be editing a map based on feedback today, so that hopefully the clutch side actually gets clutch, and the other side doesn't. What could I have done to make that more obvious then? Aside from not
Um,
making the roll downs suck.
so you have one arrow that says pointing down, and so I went down a little more, but tried to go even more down and drop onto the slower plat.
Yeah, one of the other problems that you see that checkpoint there.
Gotcha.
So you're looking at that and like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to go there.
Yeah, but it's not really that big of a deal. Maybe just something like a barrier so that it doesn't look like you can drop down onto it.
Oh, okay.
Drop down.
I think Mew just did the
Yeah,
same problem.
I just did the same thing. I thought I was supposed to
Oh,
like somehow
I see
drop
what you're
onto
doing.
it or something,
Okay,
but I was supposed to keep going around.
okay, I got you.
May I suggest at the end of the good side, this final arrow be pointing a little bit more up so that you know to go over the wall red?
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Or even an arrow up higher pointing more to the left. If we're talking about the same spot here.
I'm
Uh,
talking about the very end.
yeah, he's talking about the
Oh.
literal end. You have to do kind of a wall hop.
Ah,
It's not really a full wall
right.
jump because I couldn't figure out how to replicate that properly. But
I really like this first transition. Like
nice.
it is so cool, and it's when you get it smooth.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
man,
How much speed are
Mhm.
you managing to land it with? The maximum I've managed to get is a 171, but 170 is my usual good.
I don't know.
Yeah, about that, it looks like.
Yeah.
This second transition on the good side is also
Yeah,
a little
170.
different than normal because you have to go jump before the end of the road, and a lot of people just jump at the end of the road.
Yeah. I stole that from one of the ZDL maps.
I'm kind of doing the opposite. I'm jumping too early and not getting enough height.
So it's a little bit of a hint, but it's more there for frame of reference. I have my usual shadows giving you some idea of where to jump off if you look closely, assuming you have shadows turned on.
I probably don't. I can see some shadows.
There should be lines across the road there. Like I said, they're more frame of reference than they are perfect positioning, because I've learned that perfect positioning, I just don't have the skill level to determine. But
Well, and that also depends on your speed too.
yeah.
Now I'm trying to get this bad side.
The transition on the
Yeah.
bad side, and if you hadn't noticed, you have to do more like a half barrel roll than just
Yeah.
going to the top. Alex, you probably are aware of which map I yoinked the jump on the good side from. We were playing it 2 weeks ago where the start had some poles in the road and then a nice jump up. So I kind of took that jump,
It
replicated it,
it
and
feels very challenge map Kern Cobb. Am I correct in saying that?
I actually don't know who made the
I don't
map
think it was
I'm referring
Kern.
to, so I can't tell you.
It might have been Mao.
It might have been, but so far I'm a little bit concerned that I might have done too good on the bad side because I'm not hearing much criticism.
I'm still trying to
That's
figure
'cause
it
I'm
out.
not making it
Yeah,
very
same.
far.
Yeah, I'm not either.
This
It's
I'm,
the jump right
this
before checkpoint
transition,
3.
yeah, that transition is the death of me.
Yep, I'm pretty sure I know. You're talking about the half pipe to half pipe jump.
yeah.
That is my least
Yeah.
favorite jump in the game, just so you're aware, which is why there's one of
Yeah.
them on each side in this map, because I was like, how can I do
just
this
used
well?
your arrows on the right side to learn the left side.
Yep.
The one on the right side could just go like midway with the half pipe, but the one on the left side is I crash into the wall if I do that.
The ways I do it to make it more comfortable on the good side, in other words, the theoretical clutch, is instead of it being just what it physically appears to be, it's actually off-centered 0.04 to the right and down,
That makes sense.
so that you don't clip your
Mhm.
wheels if you're not perfectly in line with it. Which definitely makes things more comfortable, and obviously it has a way bigger safety wall barrier, which I don't know. I almost included that on the kick side because I thought the kick side was a little too hard, and then I said, no, this is supposed to be a kick side. Let's not make it too easy. And it's still very completable. Oh my gosh, I also just got plus 24. I finally got that landing perfectly. It's
I'm
made
having a good old time over here.
about half a second's difference. However, I did something wrong approaching the end because I just lost all my speed and then took the ending wrong.
I don't know. I'm still struggling with that one jump on the bad side. It doesn't. I don't say it doesn't feel right, but like, I don't know. There's something weird about it.
Yeah.
I think if they were like slightly closer together, it'd be better.
Quite possibly.
I know,
Quite
I
possibly.
know the point was to make it a kick, but I could be wrong. I think you were trying to still make it good.
Yeah.
Just like, kind of like challenging enough to make players typically vote kick.
That is the goal. I think with some practice you might find that it falls more into that category. I can make it almost every single time at this point. The main difficulty with it is you really I purposefully made the time you have to get over very short because you actually have to get up, I don't know, like 8 cars lengths early and then go straight. If you're not level, like parallel with the top of it, then you have a nightmare of a time.
Oh yeah.
It's also worse if you're going under like 160, 163 at that point.
Nice time, you.
Yeah, nice time. That was with the hard route,
Oh.
and that was with the easy route. With a good route.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay, Mew. Do you
Interesting.
still think the hard route could be
So-
faster? Theoretically, the landing on the second jump is what's supposed to really definitively make it the better, as you get way more speed for a longer time. But you just made me question that a bit.
Yeah, I was. If you have to, so you have to go up to get to the wall transfer, or at least that's how I did it. The quarter pipe to quarter pipe
Mhm.
gap. So I went high to clear that. Is that what you guys were doing?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So
trying to do.
yeah, doing that loses you a bunch of speed because you have to be turning to do it. Whereas getting the height to get that position on the wall transfer on the easy side is just the peak of the jump. So you
Gotcha.
don't have to be doing any turning. You just land the jump at the perfect height and then you just drop down from there.
Hmm.
And so you're not losing as much speed by turning to get the height.
I was figuring the being 30 less speed for the rest of that would make a bigger difference, but I may be wrong. I also just realized.
That was relatively clean on the bad route.
It's definitely close.
Yeah, it is close. Mine was good.
Which, part of the reason for this being the kick side, in case that wasn't self-evident, was, of course, if you gain none or barely any time for doing it for that much more difficulty, then it's, hopefully, a reason to vote
Yeah,
kick.
it's just it is the bad side. It's a lot more difficult to get clean, and you hardly get anything, if that, out of getting.
I think it's
doing it.
slower.
Okay.
And that I think will be my biggest criticism. If you're gonna make one with a good and a bad route, I think that you have to make sure that the bad route's faster, even if it's significantly faster.
I think that might get fixed with a little bit of a fan when you first clear that jump, because,
The gap.
yeah,
I think after
because
the
I'm
gap,
cheap like that.
a fan as you're getting into the big cylinder.
Yeah,
That'd be a good spot for it.
that's
speed
exactly
boost.
what I was just thinking. I'm not willing to change the entire map design to make the bad route faster, but I am willing to throw a speed boost fan on that.
I mean, that would be all you would need, I think.
Yeah.
I have more. I'm actually lower in time, like slow. My split's yellow, but my speed's green on the faster route.
I just got... Oh man. I I don't know how I did it, except I got nearly a perfect landing on the bad side. I was plus 21 on the bad side just now. At checkpoint 2.
You had a really clean
There's
run
a
run on
Yeah.
you.
And the problem with that
Oh,
is that
yeah.
you're at the bottom of the quarter pipe
yeah,
instead of the
it's
top.
a
So the speed doesn't really
potential
mean much
versus
there.
kinetic energy thing.
True.
Yeah.
When I'm optimizing this, I've been able to like dip back down almost instantly after that gap and maintain more speed in the long run. But I see what you're saying. I'm plus 8 speed at checkpoint 4 and down a quarter of a second, which I don't think can be
It's
made up that late in the map.
it's not that you're going to be maintaining more speed by dipping down there. What's happening is you have like what Lexa said with the kinetic versus potential energy. You're kicking into the kinetic energy earlier, so you're able to go faster during that time. Your theoretical speed is still the same. However, the difference is because you're going slightly faster for a little bit longer, you're going to get a better time.
So what I'm really feeling then is that a large part of the problem is just the upper section. You're not going slower long enough to make up for the fact that you have to cut back up. Right? Because you are
Right.
going 30 speed slower on the upper, or on the good side, but
Yeah, and it's only for like a few blocks of length.
okay.
So that's not enough to make the difference in time.
I will definitely remember that in future maps. I think, like I said, this one's gonna get fixed with a fan, because quick and easy. Dirty tricks.
Yeah, that's a simple way to do it.
I think I'm hearing that people are liking this one better than my normal maps. Alex, you're definitely liking this better than last week's.
Yes. This is a fun
I'm
map.
very much liking the good side.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The bad side's still not bad. I don't think. Ironically, uh, it's a fun map. Both sides of it are. I just think, like I said, you don't have the payoff
Yeah.
to make it worth doing the bad side.
Yeah.
Is there anything aside from that one signage on the down tube on the good side that needs to be fixed to make it a good side?
I don't think so.
Which part do you mean?
So you were talking about on the big spiral down that you kind of felt like you needed to jump to
Yeah.
the finish
Yeah.
early.
It's like an arrow that just is pointing horizontally more
Yep.
to
Or
just
even
say
just
don't drop down.
or even just a barrier on the
That too.
road pieces there.
I just got 176 on the first checkpoint.
Oh, I just realized something.
Well,
That's insane, by the way.
what's that?
176. You can jump into an enter at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that a little bit ago, and I couldn't decide whether I wanted to fix it or not, nor could I decide if it was actually going to be efficient.
It'll be faster. You just have to be able to land it. It actually kind of reminds me of the inner on Bambi's skate map.
So let me ask you a quick question. Is there any good reason for me to change that? Like, it's going to be high skill either side, so I don't really think I care. And it shouldn't change, like, if I'm speed boosting the bad side, it shouldn't change which side's faster. So either way, you're still gonna...
Yeah, so I think it depends on what kind of thing you're going for. The only issue with having that kind of thing is all of a sudden it's like kind of annoying to do.
Okay. I'm on a trash run anyway. What can we do about that inner then? I could make a solid wall on the inside of the, like where the checkpoint is. I could also duplicate that as an actual solid wall to prevent the inner.
A lot of people just put like a few ribs along the length of the arc just so you can't
I've gotten feedback
do
before that
anything.
doing that is cheap. I think Maki said doing that always feels bad and he'd prefer there just be a wall.
That's fair.
I'm not sure if the rest of you agree with that, but
Oh, yeah, because Mackie probably has a problem with what he calls the perfect inner. A lot of people's inner blockers don't actually block a little wheel hook.
gotcha, gotcha.
But
So
in this case,
making sure
this
it
is a
does.
full inner wall, right? This is a different story. You just put anything there and it'll stop it.
Okay. Scar, when we reset
Oh.
here, if you want to load your map. Nice job, Lexer. These times are right about where I
Thanks.
expected them to be, so that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that was 20 either. It felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Cool. I definitely think my map making skills are upgrading then, especially because since this was my birthday week, I built this in like 4 to 6 hours. I was a little lazy with it this week.
I'd say they're upgrading. Skip.
Oh, right. I was distracted.
Jack Marius Tactheratrix has joined the game.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. So this is about 2 hours of coaching. The first time Scar has ever touched the map editor. He built it on my computer at first because I had
Oh,
all the
nice,
mods.
nice job,
This is a
Scar.
good map. Wow.
Oh yeah, wow, great job, man.
Wow.
Wow.
Next,
Neil Fair9, I think he's
I think
I
he's
think
better
he's
than me.
grown a lot faster than you have.
All right. I swear, the force skip never goes to the map I want it to. Oh. So that's the change you made when I wasn't looking.
Oh,
Surprisingly well tuned first jump.
Yep,
For a
I
beginner
missed
map.
to CP3.
Yeah, CP3 is a bit of a
Ah.
precision move.
I got to
Don't
4,
mind it, though.
and I didn't have to line up for it. I was bouncing around too much.
Hey Scar, that's one comment I already called right. Told you they'd say that was a bit of a precision jump, and one of them would say they didn't mind.
I don't think it's too precision, but the little transition after there is kind of bouncy.
It is if you don't get it all the way on the right side, for sure.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so when I first played this when he built it, I hated that transition. I think 10 minutes in, you're going to find you rather like it. It's a weird thing. Once you get it right, it feels really good.
You just got to find the
Ooh,
right line.
flat
of command,
landing
yeah.
there is not great.
Yeah.
It's not too intensive a flat landing, though.
Probably break down at the end to get into the finish
Yeah, that was
faster.
the inner tube's a little rough too.
Wishing there was a platform on the end of it, I'm guessing.
No, it just isn't smooth. The pieces aren't fully lined up.
Which one?
You mean after this, in this
The
first
very beginning.
checkpoint? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
As
not.
I come
Honestly,
around the corner, I sort of bounce off the wall.
My bigger problem with that is the fan pulling you down.
Oh, they're flush. They are perfectly lined up. What you're feeling is that it's not a straight tube piece. It's the upward angle turned on its side.
Oh, well, use a different piece then.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like the
that's
right
my
connection.
first map.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it actually feels really good for a first map.
Yeah.
Trust me, this is less criticism than I got on my first map. I think that the major downhill I had that you could just overshoot when you were going fast made a couple of people a bit livid. Also, personally, stylistic speaking, I'm loving this map. Now that I'm getting to play it for real. I didn't get a full opportunity earlier. I love it. The turn at the start, making it so that you have like a single tap of arms up can sometimes give you a more perfect landing. Feels really good. I still love this little, I don't know, after checkpoint 3, the section where it dips to the left, something I think was unintended and I also didn't notice when you were building it is that you can kind of, if you get the bounce because you don't land that well, you can land on the downhill part of that dip and then correct it, which feels amazing. This is a very I messed up friendly map, which is kind of awesome.
I don't like this jump after checkpoint 4.
Yeah, I agree. Not only is it a flat landing, the actual jump itself isn't great.
Yeah, you kind of overshoot it if you.
But if you want to try and take it low, you typically end up just going too far left.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to take it low and end up going left, and so maybe if the whole thing was moved over to the left a bit.
I genuinely don't think they've said anything so far that I didn't expect them to say. Well done. Just for the record, well done. Because you kind of left some of these in here because it was your first map, and that's fine. But I'm loving this. I also think it's probably the best sign of how much I've learned so far that I can predict what they're going to call. So, I wouldn't be able to tell that if we weren't doing this. I think my biggest gripe with it is I was commenting when you were building that the mega jump there, I would have liked for the landing hill to be reversed and then moved further a little bit so you catch that downhill. And now that I'm getting plus 11 speed at it, I feel that even more.
Or even if like he added feathers.
Oh, I didn't think about feathers.
Although I would
Honest-
rather have downhill landings, but feathers are
Yeah.
a way around it.
But if it were moved to the left, you could get the angle a lot better.
True. And then you could like literally be flat on.
Yeah, which would
Mhm.
be a lot nicer.
What do we think of the aesthetic of the map? Obviously, it didn't teach him very much as far as deco goes, but I love it.
I was enjoying the palette that he used. There's a sort of mispainted piece on that landing, I think, the border of that jump that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, the blue border.
Yeah, there's a missing blue border there.
Oh, yep. I think that was an undo glitch. Oops.
But yeah, I'm finding that the palette's not upsetting and it's not distracting or anything. For a first map, it's good.
A little bit of paint goes a long way.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Literally, in my teaching forum, my instruction was just don't leave the default colors.
Mhm.
Yeah, honestly, that makes such a huge difference in like the enjoyability of a map.
I think my favorite thing he did with the decoration slash coloring that I didn't know about slash expect, the floor is a like blue tinged glass.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a custom skybox to me.
Yeah, and it's with the skybox that he chose, it makes this reflective level that reminds me a lot of Kingdom Hearts in one of the mirror levels from Kingdom Hearts 3, and it looks sick.
Is that a bug?
I hate to say it, but I think as far as map ones go, tutored or not, he just knocks mine out of the park. My wall ride nonsense is not this fun.
Mhm.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, this is pretty good for a first map.
Gotta say that
The
also
end
makes you guys good.
infuriates me though.
I actually love it. That might have been his teacher seeping through into the map. Oops.
Wow, you trying to take credit for his map now?
No, I'm trying to take credit for his mistakes. There's a slight difference. No. There's definitely a level of having someone telling you what to do helps, but to that end,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
gotta say, you guys have definitely been doing good tutorage, because so many of the things that I was pointing out to him while he was building this are things that I did first, and one of you has commented on. Mew in particular, the undo mistakes, a lot of that didn't seep through to this. Alex, your commentary on not doing hard techniques first is something that we definitely pay a lot more attention to. And Lexer, I gotta say, the overspeeding problem, I think you were kind of the first person to really point that out. Actually, I think Alex, you might have also pointed it out on my very first Judge It episode, but we've definitely been taking a lot of the advice. Overall, I think this worked out really well.
If I'm gonna critique my own map, I'm gonna say that the ending feels really like I don't know. It feels like unfinished compared to the rest of the map.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have
I think I can
preferred
agree.
the ending just have like a finish there.
So for next week, Mew, will you be able to be here? Can I ask you?
I should be.
Oh yeah. All right, Mew, you're getting priority. What is the first half of the idea for the map I'm building next week?
All right, give me a sec to buffer. You caught me off guard. You have to rotate your cart in the air in a jump.
Okay.
Just one.
At least once.
Oh, it'll be more than once if it's the
So
theme
like
for a map.
90-degree or 180-degree or multiple times you have, but like you have to rotate your cart in the air, otherwise it won't work.
Well, Agix, why don't you mess with that one?
Let's see. If you were gonna ask me again, I was gonna say something with grass, but I don't know if I want to mess with that with grass.
No.
So
No.
let's just do
No.
off-road wheels.
Huh? Okay.
Scar, Agix, Alex, Lexer, Mew, thank you all for joining me for recording once again. And, yeah, I guess that's a wrap.